Hey, what's up? What's up, man? It's your man King Ray Ray. Back up in the joint again, man. Ready to chop it up. Let's get the people a few minutes to slide up in the joint, man. As you know, I'm still on YouTube jail on the main channel, man. So this is where we will be conducting all of our live shows for the foreseeable future, at least until February 17th, 2020. This is where we'll be, brothers. All right, Bank. So 9. What up, country cuz? Kevin Barone, what's good with you, bro? Good to see you in the building, man. Yeah, Curry, what's up, man? After you come in, man, go ahead and hit the thumbs up on the way in the door. Let's try to drum up some support for this channel, man, these live streams. Ice Cold G, salute to you, bro, repping from the DMV. When you come in, man, let me know where you represent so I can shout out the areas, man, that show doctor support, the areas that rep for King Ray Ray. Let's give the people a few minutes to slide up in the joint, man. AVP Lifestyle, represent B More. L Curry, NYC. R Banks, DMV, representing. Good Leaf, ATL. What's good with you, homie? Good to see you in the building. Peace up, A-Town down. SO, what's good, man? Good to see you in the joint. Kevin Barone representing that NYC. Man, listen, I got a lot of support in NY, B More, FLA, bunch of support in Cali, bunch of Texas support. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a bunch of Chi-Town support. DeRay Vicious, what's good? Vicious, good to see you in the joint, man. So I wanted to talk about something today, man, with a little bit of depth to it. I think on this channel, man, I want to go a little bit more in depth, and come out of that anything that come off kind of anti-female, because y'all know, man, I'm not anti-female. I'm anti-nonsense and foolishness. So whether that come from female or male, man or woman, anybody, I'm against that. But there are some things, man, that can be talked about that can be beneficial across the board, especially for us men who are going to continue to deal with women. If we're going to continue to deal with women, then we need to discuss some of the ways to make those dealings effective. You understand what I'm saying? To make those interactions with women as beneficial to you as possible. You understand? And there are some women out here that still believe in love, man. They still believe, man, that I meet women all the time, man. I mean, I'm not interested in, being in that type of arrangement, but I meet women all the time, man, who are really, really ready to try to be a wife. I say try to be a wife because they don't know how to be a wife. They've never been taught, but they want to try. They're willing to let a man tell them what he needs. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a bigger issue than anything else. See, we could keep talking about the problems, but nobody's offering any solutions to the basic interaction between black men and black women, which is going to have to change if either party is going to attain any level of success, any level of spiritual awakening, any level of you name it. There's nothing positive that can be accomplished outside of individual accomplishments. So I want to start addressing this thing from a grown man perspective. Shout out to the brother GMB. A grown man perspective. Mika, bro, what's good? Represent FLA. I told you I got that support down there. Meticulous, what's good, brother? Von, DMV, represent again. Big Phil, what up, homie? Prodigal Son is in the building. What up with you, man? Devon Miles is in the joint with us. Appreciate y'all brothers coming in, man. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up, man, while you're in here. Tayon Jackson, what's good, bro? Since we're just starting over here, man, this thing get to about 30, we're going to go ahead and jump in. Abdullah, what's good, man? Homie, fresh out the gym. Mo Woods, one, homie, what's good with you? Appreciate you being in the joint. So, I hear a lot of talk about love. Love. We talking about that four-letter word that means absolutely nothing if you don't attach action to it. Now, we all know that. But I say, why is there no action being attached to that word? It's because love is not the root of a relationship. It is the flowers. It is the branches. It is the fruit that grows from the proper foundation. But you can't found any successful relationship on love. It's not gonna happen. Love is such an individualized idea that your concept of love may not be the concept of her, that may not be the same as her concept of love. His concept of love may not be the same as yours. My concept of love may be different from everyone else's in the world. So you can't build a foundation on something so fleeting. It's like building a foundation on straw and grass. When they build in a house, they don't build a foundation on straw and grass. They build it on a concrete slab. The whole frame of the house is wood, but they dare not put a wood foundation. You can't even maintain a straw house on a wood foundation. The foundation must be concrete. The foundation must be solid. The foundation must be irremovable and immovable. So what am I saying here? I'm saying that successful relationships are built on respect, not love. There's not one single successful relationship that's built, and I'm talking about relationships of any kind. I'm not just talking about intimate relationships. Your relationship with everyone around you, all relationships are built on respect. So that's why I always tell you, if someone is attacking you, if someone is constantly jocking you, envying you, being in the way, trying to, making themselves an enemy of your success, man, that person does not respect you. They say love is an action verb, but respect encompasses all actions. There is no barometer by which someone's affinity for you can be gauged better than respect. And respect is not hard. It's just that most people prefer disrespect. You see, most people don't understand what strength is. They think strength is something to be exerted over other people. Yeah, you could say that. That's surface strength. But real strength is internal. You have to internalize strength, just like you have to internalize love. The only thing you don't have to internalize that is very effective in building relationships upon is respect. Respect is basically all that matters. So let's talk about this. Now, when I say successful relationships are built on respect, the first thing you got to understand what that means. See, most people aren't going to say this, but this is what respect should mean to you. If you are in a relationship, if you're considering a relationship, if you are not in a relationship and you've been in ones that failed, this is what respect should mean to you. See, when I say respect, every damn body thinks about themselves. They think about what they feel when they're disrespected. They think about what they feel when they're respected. When I say respect is the foundation of a relationship, put a one in the chat if you didn't think about what it takes for a woman to respect you, what it takes for a man to respect you. Put a one in the chat if you didn't think that first. And keep it 100. If you did not think about yourself first, about being respected, about sometimes somebody disrespected you, about how you feel when you're disrespected, about how you wish you would wish somebody would disrespect you, rather, about how you're going to be respected, or else tell me if you didn't think about yourself first, and put that one in the chat. Now, I'm not talking about God. If you thought about God first, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about within human interaction. If you didn't think about what being respected or being disrespected for yourself was first, put one in the chat. I got prodigal son. Put in the chat what's the first thing that came to your mind, prodigal son. This could be enlightening to all of us. But let me tell you what respect should mean. As a man now. Now, any woman that want to listen can listen, but now I'm about to talk to the brothers for a minute here. So you might want to go fix you some tea or take a pee or do something. Then you can come back. As a man, what respect should mean to you, as a matter of fact, don't take your little tail nowhere. Stay here and listen. It should mean respecting yourself. You respecting yourself. You respecting your position. You respecting your responsibility. You respecting your expectations. You respecting your honesty. You respecting your loyalty. You respecting your disrespectful tendencies. You respecting your energy. You respecting your moral compass. You respecting your dedication. You respecting your propensity to be selfish. You see what I'm saying? If you don't understand that respect is an interpersonal thing, then you're not a very mature individual. You have a lot of growing up to do. You ever heard a child say, an adult child say, well, in order to get respect, you got to give respect, telling their parent this, especially when the parent is in the right. You ever heard that? Because I've heard it on a few occasions, and I thought to myself when I heard it, that's about the most idiotic, illogical statement I've ever heard anybody make. Respect is an internal thing that is actuated and actualized externally. If someone disrespects you, you know it. Almost as much as you know when you don't respect someone else. You know this. YMC, what's good, brother? See, I see some ones in here. See, if you didn't think about being respected first, I'm going to be honest with you. I need you to put in the chat what you thought about. If when I say relationships are built on respect, you didn't think about someone respecting you or disrespecting you, tell us what you thought about in the chat. See, this is the thing about position, and this is for women and men. The thing about your position in a relationship, you have to respect your position, because then you respect the responsibility of the relationship. You respect the responsibility if you respect your position, because every position in every relationship, whether intimate relationships, business relationships, friendships, what we're talking about is every relationship is based on the responsibility of all parties involved and how well and willing they are to live up to those responsibilities to the best of their power or the best of their ability. Interesting answers, brother. Interesting answers. See, you got to understand this, man. The positions in a relationship are already established. If you call yourself a friend to someone, the rules of friendship have been established long before we got here. If you call yourself a wife to someone, the rules for being a wife have already been established. If you call yourself a husband to someone, that's been established before we even got here. If you call yourself a business partner of someone, the rules of that have already been established before we got here. There are no new rules. There's just new obstacles preventing people from following those rules, adhering to those rules, loving those rules. See, we got to keep in mind one thing, man. No matter what you tell yourself, no matter what you say to yourself, the bottom line is this: everything that happens in your life is 50% the result of your input or lack thereof. 50%. And that's the reality of it, man. That is the reality of it. All right, y'all give me a quick minute here, man. So, the reality of the scenario is this, man. What we're talking about here is our ability to create, dictate, and maintain our relationships with our own actions. With our own actions. You see, you also have to respect your expectations. The problem with many people in failed relationships is that you don't respect your own expectations. Anytime you'll compromise something, you don't respect the validity of it. If you'll compromise your manhood, you don't respect the validity of it. If you'll compromise your womanhood, you don't respect the validity of it. If you'll compromise your virtue, you don't respect the validity of it. If you'll compromise your morality, you don't respect the energy of it. And it's a sad state to not respect the energy of your morality. See, you can talk about morality, but if you don't respect the positive spiritual energy of morality, then you're not going to have any morality to govern you. You're going to talk about it, but you're not going to be about it. You dig what I'm saying? And that's the reality of it. Your expectations are what you think you deserve for what you bring to the equation. Your expectations are what you are certain you deserve in exchange for what you bring to any equation. Your expectations for a salary are based on how well you think you can do the job, your experience, your level of education, your intangibles. Athletes hold out while battling for a better contract because they think they're being undercompensated for what they bring to the equation. And they'll hold out damn near all training camp. Athletes have held out for an entire year before. Athletes have retired because they couldn't get the money they wanted. That's how strongly you have to feel about your expectations, because the moment you compromise your expectations, you compromise your value. And a lot of times in relationships, people compromise their own value. And I promise you, when you compromise your value, you're not going to value the other person, because valueless people want to bring other people down. That's why when you hear somebody attacking someone constantly, they simply don't value themselves, because people who value themselves want to uplift everything around them. They don't want to have anything that lacks value around them. So they don't want to bring anything down in value. People who have high value feel like it's part for the course to be able to uplift the value of everything around you. Let's take property values, for example. If property values rise when a certain group of people come around, they are brought positive. They feel good about it. That area is considered a prestigious area. If the property value falls when a certain type of people come around and a certain actions that they bring with them, the property value falls. Then that value is looked at. Hey, man, those people, that group of people, those actions lower the property value. And it's the same thing in a relationship. If your activity, if your outlook, if your understanding of your lack of respect for your own expectations causes you to contribute negative energy to any relationship of any kind, you're going to also accuse the other person of contributing negative energy, because no one wants to take all of the onus of bringing the negative energy to any situation. That's a lot of pressure for a human being to say this situation is all messed up and I did it all by myself. No human being, boy, you got to be one cold joker to do that, man. Or you got to be crazy. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I can only do it because I'm crazy. So, the bottom line is this, man. You have to keep in mind that your respect for your contribution. Listen, the thing is this: people who complain about other people they interact with, people who complain about relationships, people who complain about other people's involvement in the relationship, those are people who aren't focusing on the things they need to respect on their own. There's at least 10 things you need to respect in a relationship just as far as what you bring to it. The problem is men are focusing on women in the relationships, and women are focusing on men in the relationships. A woman can tell you 15 things her man did wrong, but she can't tell you a damn thing that she did. Let her tell it. She ain't did nothing. A man can say his woman didn't do this, his woman ain't doing that, his woman ain't doing this, she ain't doing that. But he can't tell you that since he met the woman, he done gained 57 pounds. He complained about the woman not having sex with him, but the woman ain't attracted to him no more because he had a six-pack. Now he got a keg up under his shirt. He was getting money. Now he want to be at home all the time. A woman, you can't complain about a man not wanting to touch you when you know you done gained 89 pounds. A man who like you at 140 ain't gonna like you at 229. But it's because you don't respect your contribution. You don't respect your dedication. Failed relationships are because people don't respect the dedication it takes, not to the person. You never should be dedicated to any person. You got to be dedicated to the relationship. You and that person are only together in a relationship. You got to respect the relationship, the boundaries of the relationship, your dedication to the relationship, the parameters of the relationship. You got to respect the relationship itself. You got to look at everything like a business. If you're in a relationship, the relationship is your business. If you have a clothing line, the fashion industry is your business. If you're a personal trainer, the fitness industry is your business. If you're a content creator, communication is your business. See, let me tell you something, man. As a man, You got to respect your loyalty. But then again, when I say loyalty, most people are going to think either somebody being loyal to them or them being loyal to somebody. Whether they think positively or negatively about it, somebody, you're always going to be most people are going to think about somebody being loyal to them or them being loyal to somebody. When I say you got to be loyal, brother, you got to be loyal to yourself as a man. You got to be loyal to your masculinity. You got to be loyal to your manhood. You got to be loyal to your alpha energy. Therefore, like my brother just said, you can understand that a woman is not going to own up to her wrongdoing by herself, but you got to stay on her. You got to stay on her so much that she start improving things because she's tired of you being on her. And I know somebody going to say, well, I don't want to put that type of energy in. Man, you put forth more energy just to get sex. The problem is we are looking at a scenario, the whole relationship scenario, based on what Hollywood shows us. Based on what we see on the trick box, not the reality of what relationships are built on. Relationships are built on a foundation of respect. Successful relationships, that is. Now, if you want some scallywag relationship that don't mean nothing, fine. You can do that too, if that's your thing. I don't see why you would. Hell, I wouldn't. I don't understand that at all. There's no way I'd do it. So, the bottom line is this, man. You have to respect your position in a relationship. Everyone as an individual has to respect their position in a relationship. That's the reality of it. That's what you got to do. That's your damn job. And you got to make sure that the only thing you check the other person about is making sure that they respect their position. See, the problem in these relationships is the lack of communication. It's the lack of communication, man. If you want to have an understanding about what is expected of you and what you expect of someone else, man, you got to have a communication. You know how many people don't even know that the person they with don't find them attractive anymore? You know how, man, let me tell you something. The bottom line is, if someone is not having sex with you, they are not attracted to you. Two people who are around one another and find each other sexually attractive. I'm talking about sexually attractive, not just attractive. You look good. Sexually attractive. Any two people who are around one another and find one another sexually attractive, they're not going to go 6 months without sex. They're just not going to do it. They're going to slip up and fall into some sex. They're going to wake up after a drunken night of partying and realize that they have spent all night involved in some sex. They're going to pull over on the side of the road and get into some sex. At some point, two people who are sexually attracted to one another are going to be intimate. So why are you with someone that you ain't been intimate with in 6 months and they ass ain't even complaining? Man, listen, if you're in a relationship with somebody and they ain't even complaining about no sex, man, they don't want you at all. That's the reality of it. I know this is a tough pill to swallow, brother, but if you got a woman who don't even care, and if anytime a woman is talking to you about sex ain't the most important thing, especially when y'all used to get it up all the time. When y'all used to get it all the time, and then a woman start telling you stuff like sex ain't important, we got a deeper relationship than sex. Man, that means you don't turn her on. She ain't aroused by you, bruh. She ain't aroused by you. She don't want you. She ain't feeling you like that. Now, granted, if she done gained about 50 pounds, then she ain't feeling herself like that. So you got to watch it now. There are exceptions to this rule. If you got a woman, man, say she got pregnant, man, she gained about 75 pounds. She don't feel the same about herself. She's seeing stuff in the mirror that she ain't used to, and her confidence is gone. Those are the type of women that this whole body shaming thing came from. Those women who felt so bad about themselves but didn't have the intestinal fortitude or the mental, emotional wherewithal to change themselves. They just said, okay, I'm not going to change myself, so y'all got to change the way y'all view me. Now, those women seek validation from everyone else to change what they feel when they look in the mirror at the new version of themselves. That's the reality of this, man. But she doesn't respect her responsibility to the relationship enough to understand that she has to stay looking good. A woman has to, man, let me tell you something. This is one thing I tell you about the hood. You find a chick in the hood, because I'm going to be honest with you, man, there's a bunch of married couples in the hood. There's a bunch of married couples who've been getting money for the longest. There's a bunch of married couples with children who, I mean, she was ride or die. He was out there getting money, and now they chilling. I know a bunch of them. Now, granted, yeah, are they children just like them? Yeah, they're children out there, man, doing what they got to do to get money. Hell, still may be part of the family business. The family business may never died, and the children just grew up in it. But what I'm talking about is one thing you can find out in that environment is a woman know how to keep looking good for her man. Man, there are women in that environment, bro, who walk around in Versace robes, man, and red bottoms. If they ain't, I'm talking about whenever they come in the house, she got a Versace robe or a Gucci robe or whatever kind of robe with some red bottoms on, man, feet done, nails done, hair whipped up, and up under that robe, man, she got on something sexy that he like to see. And that's every time. You know how amazing it feels, man, for a woman that you cohabitate with, not a woman who lives somewhere else. See, what you got to understand is this. It's easy for a woman to stay on top of her stuff when she lives somewhere else. I'm talking about in the event of cohabitation. That's when you get to find out how dedicated a woman is to you. You know how many brothers done went from having a woman who dressed sexy like that all the time to a woman who got on some sweatshirts and a holy t-shirt and a damn what that thing is on her head, that damn that thing that make her look like Toad off Mario Brothers. You know what I'm talking about, that damn bonnet. Man, listen, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is real talk. No woman should sleep with a damn bonnet on her head, because they got better things than a bonnet. They got those little things that wrap around the side of her head and stick on the other end with the Velcro, where you can still see the top of her hair, you can still see the length of her hair, but she got it wrapped around so her hair lay down on the side. I can deal with that. I actually don't have a problem with that at all. I've never looked at that and said that looks bad. But a bonnet? Boy, if you got a woman that got a bonnet on her head, you better sit her down and tell her either she gonna get it together or you finna be gone. Primal Fitness, appreciate the $2 super chat, bro. Pierre Jackson, appreciate the $2 super chat, homie. These are the type of things we got to keep in mind, man. But there are women, man, who stay on top of that. There are women who stay on, man, let me tell you something, bro. Man, there are some women in the hood, bro, that eat clean as hell. They don't really eat a lot, but they eat clean. When they do eat something bad, man, they eat a small piece of it. Those women understand the value of staying attractive to a man. If you got a woman who focuses on anything else, she's not dedicated to you. And you as a woman, if you focus on anything else besides being pleasing to your man, you're not dedicated to him. You may be dedicated to your job or your career, whatever you want to call it. You might be dedicated to being a mother, but you're not dedicated to that relationship. You being a mother has nothing to do with that relationship. And men who aren't in their feelings about everything don't attach you being a mother to their relationship, because guess what? She could be a perfectly great mother without you being around. She could leave and take children with her and still be a good mother. A decent mother, an effective mother. Well, not the worst mother in the world. Let's put it like that. What I'm saying is the stock she puts into it doesn't diminish because you're not around. It actually grows. So don't never let a woman tell you that you should appreciate her being a good mother. No, the children should appreciate that. If you're going to be a bad mother, it's going to affect them. See, you got to respect your honesty. You got to be honest about what's going on in a relationship. You got to be honest about what's not going on in a relationship. You got to be honest about what you need to be going on in a relationship. And you got to be honest with shit that's going on in a relationship that you don't care nothing about. Never let someone you're involved with in any relationship, business, personal, anything. Never let someone that you're involved in any relationship with think you value something that you don't value. Because every time you do that, you're allowing that person to expect to have the expectation of a return from you for what they're contributing. Everyone deserves a return for what they're contributing. Everyone does. And I'm not making this up. We all know this. We all know this. I don't know what's going on with the super chat icon, man. It's showing up for some people, not showing up for others. I don't know, man. They'll get it together, I guess, bro. Yeah, refresh your page. Tell you everybody right now, man, refresh your page, and the super chat icon should show up, man, if you want to use it. You know, if you don't know how to refresh your page, just go up to your window and click enter, and it'll refresh your page, and it'll open back up, and you should be in the game. Yeah, you should be in the game by then. EV, appreciate the $5 super chat, brother. Brother say here $5 to go toward Dr. BOA's bond. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate it. They holding the good doctor down, man. You know, O'Shea always say, man, the white man holding me back. I ain't gonna lie, man. I can say it and mean it now, man. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I just want to say this, man. Like relationships, successful relationships are built on respect, not love. Love doesn't matter, man. Like old girl Tina Turner say, man, what's love got to do with it? What's love got to do with it? Anything that a woman does in a relationship is because it's her responsibility. Anything you do in a relationship is because it's your responsibility. You don't owe anyone anything. You owe yourself the respect of handling your responsibilities. You owe yourself the respect of honoring your expectations. See, when you honor your own expectations and respect your own expectations, then you have every right in the world to demand the return from someone else. You have every right in the world to demand that type of return from whoever you're involved with. If you give 100% to a business, you deserve for your business partner to give 100%. Man, I got a partner right now, man. Just him and a couple of his partners started a business, man. They had one cat that was just lacking. He was lacking on the financial input end, but he had a knowledge of the business. And so their understanding was that because he didn't, they had the best understanding of the business, but he didn't have the proper financial input, that he was going to be on the grind, doing his thing, blowing the business up, doing the things he knew how to do. Man, that joker was lazy than a fool, man. That joker wasn't doing that, man. They finally had to cut him loose. Because they had to respect their expectations enough to know that they had the right to demand he respect his. Especially when they sat down and talked about it. Tayon Jackson, appreciate the $10 super chat, brother. Another thing is this, man. And this is a big one. This is where a lot of men fall. You have to respect your moral compass. You got to respect your moral compass. The thing that tells you, hey, man, that's wrong, bro. I can't do that, man. That's wrong. Hey, nah, shot, I ain't going that route. Man, let me tell you something. I did a consultation, man, and let me tell you what happened in the consultation. Craftwork MCR, man, appreciate the $10 super chat, brother. Say salute, King Ray. Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you. I had a consultation with a cat, man, and he was with a woman who had a child when he met her, and a child with her. They stayed together for a while, and when he met her, the first child she had, man, was like a year and a half. Close to 2 years old, and he stayed with the chick, man, until the child was like 12. So 10 years spread. Maybe a little bit longer. But he said, man, once they parted ways, she ended up with somebody else who's actually married her. Go figure. Two children by two men. But obviously he felt like she was wifey material. But he said she hit him up and asked him, could he talk to the oldest boy, about something that he was dealing with, in his life. Come get him, scoop him up, talk to him. And he hit me up, man, and said, bro, I don't know what to do, man. He said, on one hand, I want to do it because, he don't have no type of relationship with his father. I said, well, is his father dead? He said, no, but he ain't got no relationship with him. I said, my nigga, what that got to do with you? Well, I just think, man, I said, that's the problem, bro. You ain't thinking, you feeling. Because if you were thinking, you'd be like, man, she trying to play you. Now, I know somebody going to say, well, no, man, he go ahead and do that. Nah, bro. This is what you got to understand. That was an expectation she could have had while they were together. That was an expectation she could have had because that was an expectation that he delivered on. But he doesn't respect his own expectations enough to know that nothing that she gives him currently warrants that. See, you got to be a man and you got to stand on principles, bruh. It's tough out here to be a man because society doesn't want you to be that. Society tells you that women don't want you to be that. But that's a lie, dog. Women want masculine men. It's just that there aren't that many. So if you find a woman and she's had 5 experiences with 5 men, well, I mean, we can talk about her sex and all that if you want to get into that petty stuff, but that ain't what we're going to do on this channel. There's enough channels doing that already. I'm talking about the reality of interaction, man. And all of them were beta male simp manginas. That woman has no idea how to deal with a masculine man, but she knows she wants a masculine man because if she wanted a beta male simp mangina, she would have been with one of the beta male simp manginas she had already. Beta male simp manginas are the men who are dealing with these divorces. Simps and chumps are the ones who are dealing with these divorces. With 50% of marriages in the divorce, 80% of divorces are filed by women. Simps deal with that. So you can't look at a woman and say, well, she's been married twice. Or hey man, at least she's been a wife twice. If she's been a wife twice, that means that 2 men met her and felt like she was wifey type. But you got to understand, if you're not a masculine man, you're not going to be able to sustain a relationship with the woman that she's going to be willing to continue to invest her energy in. Divorce don't happen because women are setting niggas up and marrying them, unless you're an athlete, idiot. Unless you marry a known thought. Now, if you're an athlete, you marry a stripper that's that's been through all kinds of things, then come on, man. We're not talking about that. We're talking about out here in the real world. These divorces aren't happening because all these women are married, all these men with the intent of taking them down, of getting their money. Because let me tell you something. Technically speaking, if you want to believe the financial statistics, the majority of men ain't got no money like that. The majority of men ain't sitting strong like that. Not for a woman to come and say, okay, I'm going to marry him just to take his money. But you got to understand this. If you're not a masculine man, eventually the femininity in a woman is suppressed so much that she becomes frustrated and angry because she can't even be a damn woman with you. She got to be part man. She can't just fall into her feminine energy because she got to help you do your thing. I asked some women in the chat the other day, man. I said, look, if because then they were talking about submission and they were saying, well, what are you going to give me for submission? So I just put it in the chat. I said, I'm going to, a life that's free of financial worry and positive leadership that keeps you from making a fraction of the mistakes that you would make by yourself. And they all said, damn, I can agree with that. But then one of them said, well, not all men are going to be able to do that. And then the rest of them China, yeah, you're right. You're right. Not all men gonna be able to do that. Man, women are expecting a 50-50 relationship because they know you can't handle the man part. If you are a man with a wife, you are supposed to be situated enough to provide for your family. Even if your wife contributes, it's supposed to be because she just wants to. It's supposed to be because she won't let you do it any other way. She just can't see in her heart her allowing you to do all that without her contributing something. But as a man, historically, being a man with a family means that you can provide for that family. If you can't provide for a family, you don't deserve a family. And if you got to be with a woman and she got to help you pay half of the bills, then she get half of the authority. And I heard somebody in one of my chats one day talking about, I don't care what she contribute. She got to submit. Nigga, you ain't worth submitting to if you can't handle the whole part of being a man. How you going to expect submission when the woman got to do part of your work for you? And you got to pay the cost to be the boss, man. And that's one of the main reasons these relationships are failing. It ain't about the women. It's easy to point at the women, but we can't say that the majority of men are beta and then point at the women and say the women are at fault when we already know how beta male energy prevents a woman from being able to be feminine. A woman can't submit to no beta male. A woman can't revere no beta male. A woman can't do nothing to no beta male but help his ass be a man. That's all, man. See, let me tell you what's going to happen on the King Ray Ray channel, brothers. We're going to keep it a buck over here. Now, on the BOA channel, we keep it a buck, but we streamline in our approach. We pretty much, we talk about some different things over there. On the King Ray Ray channel, man, we're going to keep it a buck. We're going to open the floodgates of reality is what we're going to do. We're going to open the floodgates of reality. Now, nothing I'm saying is refuting or disputing the results of relationships. It is true that 50% of marriages end in divorce and 80% of those marriages are filed by women. But we are lying to ourselves if we tell ourselves that all of those men were financially situated enough where a woman would marry them just to take what they got. When the majority of those men had women who went to work every day and made money too. Very few of those men had stay-at-home wives. Because I'll be honest with you, the woman who is a dedicated stay-at-home wife wants a husband who's going to go out and pay everything. He going to have to do something bad to her. That's the woman you see who at the gym working out every day, and you see a husband, that boy fat than a fool, man, look like he don't do nothing, eat ho-hos and dumb and sit in front of the TV. But when you see his truck, it's got his name on the side of it. He got his own construction company. He got his own concrete pouring company. He got his own backhoe company. He got his own something. And the woman who wants to be kept will not give up that dude right there. He got to fall all the way off. And if you fall off, you can't lose nothing in divorce because you ain't got nothing. See, we got to stop going on our feelings. Oh, yeah, that's right. Those women ain't this and they ain't that. That's right. That's probably right. And we got to think with logic, reason, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. If you don't put yourself in the position to be able to provide everything financially in your environment, no matter who you invite into your environment. See, this is the thing. You're not taking care of a woman. You already taking care of yourself. And if you invite a woman into your environment to enjoy it with you, you already taking care of it. Let me tell you two things a man should never do. Two things you should never do as a man. And two things you should never do as a woman if you want to be happy. See, what we're talking about a successful relationship. We're not talking about the relationship that end in divorce. Because listen, if 50% of marriages, and I heard a chick say this somewhere, man, it make all the sense in the world. If 50% of marriages end in divorce, then it's fair to say that roughly 50% of marriages are successful. They don't end in divorce. See, we could get into into the parameters and say, well, well, this is just, well, these women, they just, it doesn't really matter. Those relationships still are successful. The men are just staying in them. We can say that if we want to, but that's all about being in your feelings. If we're going to deal with nothing but the facts we have, that means 50% of marriages don't end in divorce. Let's not say they're successful. We don't have to use that, but we say they don't end in divorce. And compared to divorce, not ending in divorce represents some level of success comparatively. So I say this to you. Why is it that those 50% don't end in divorce? Now, especially now, if women are just marrying men in order to divorce them. Why aren't those 50% of women divorcing those men as well? And then when we look at it and say, well, 50% of marriages end in divorce, 80% of those divorces are initiated by women. Well, 20% of those divorces are initiated by men. So it takes that whole 80%. Now it takes that 50% divorce number. It changes the schematics of it. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the 50% of marriages that don't end in divorce. So let's say you got 1 million marriages. There's 500,000 that end in divorce, but there's 500,000 that don't. And what I'm talking to you about right now is the 500,000 relationships that don't end in divorce. I'm talking to you about those. And I'm telling you what it takes for yours to be one of those, if that's what you want. If you don't want a relationship, then you should have been out of here. Listen to this one. You shouldn't even came through when you saw the title. The bottom line is this, brothers. As a man, your position is a position of leadership. Your position is a position of guidance. Your position is a position of provision. Your position is a position of ownership. She is your woman. This is your world. This is your home. These are your cars. This is your money. This is your business. And if you can't say that, you're not equipped to have a woman. You're not equipped for it. You're not equipped to have a wife, man, if you ain't got it like that. You're just not. And I'm gonna tell you like this: find me a man who talking all that rah, I hate these women stuff, and let him get rich. His whole outlook changes because it's a different outlook on women when you know for a fact you don't need anything financial from them. That's why a man who is with a woman starting from the bottom, when he gets to a certain point, he don't want that woman no more. Because she was the perfect woman for him when he needed her contribution. But once he realizes he don't need her contribution, then the true value of that woman and who she is comes out. And a lot of these women just aren't going to have any value outside of what they can contribute financially. So I say avoid that. Avoid the negative emotional fallout from that. You may end up with a stalker on your hands. And just go and stack on getting your paper. Or if you're going to be in that situation, understand that you're not going to stay with that woman until the end. Once you get to the point where her contribution is no longer valuable to you, you have to eliminate her because she becomes dead weight. And that's the same thing a woman does. If a woman is with a man and he's on top of his game and he's doing his thing, the very moment things hit a rough patch or whatever, and he has to get her to go out and get a job because he can't handle it anymore, or he just falls off and becomes a drug addict or a gambling addict or an alcoholic or something like that, and he can't provide the life that a man's supposed to be able to provide for himself, she's probably gonna leave. She's probably gonna leave. The same way, if she falls off, doesn't take care of her beauty, doesn't take care of the sexual energy, gets a tube tied behind your back when you're trying to put children in her, you're going to leave her. And you should. These relationship parameters have been established before our grandparents were born, before your great-great-grandparents were born. The problem is men have gotten so used to being in 50-50 relationships that the majority of men out here don't even know how to take over the reins and be boss of their lives anymore. Do you know how many niggas out here need they woman to help them maintain the lifestyle they lead? I'm going to say that again to you. You know how many men out here need their woman's income to help them maintain the lifestyle that they live? I want you to think about that. And I want you to ask yourself, how can that woman be submissive and view you like a king when she's doing the same thing you're doing? How can that woman view you as a superior to her when she's doing the same thing that you're doing? And the same thing with a woman. How can you view a man as the superior leader and guide and king that you need to, when you understand that in that scenario, your strength is as strong as his? Your value is as great as his. I'm going to be honest with you. If a woman can't view you and say that your value is above hers, she's not going to submit to you. She's not going to revere you. And any man who says, well, I don't care what she make, she's still going to submit to me, you lying. She ain't going to be no quality woman. She's going to be a woman that's submitting to you because she ain't got nothing. Stepping and fetching the kowtow into you to get financial benefit from you ain't the same as submitting to your brothers. It ain't the same. And what I'll do, man, I'll let y'all know what submission feels like. Because submission don't feel like a woman just doing what you tell her to do. Submission don't feel like a woman just letting the world know how much she loves you and all that. Submission don't feel like having a woman that'll wash your clothes and cook your food. That ain't what submission is. Now, granted, those are women taking care of her responsibilities, but that's not submission. Because there are men who, can barely pay the bills, barely pay their own bills. They get that treatment. There are men who get that treatment for women that they don't really even know. So what I am telling you is, even if you meet a woman who is built like that, who was taught like that, who's going to do that and play that role, eventually she's going to not play that role anymore because she's going to see you're not a worthy man. Just because you were born with a penis don't mean you're a worthy man. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the reality of it. And just because you were born with a vagina don't mean you're a worthy woman. You got to respect your position, your responsibility, your expectations, your honesty, your loyalty, your energy, your moral compass, your dedication, your disrespect, and your propensity to quit when the going gets tough. I want y'all to think about this, man. I ain't want to make this one too long, maybe an hour. But we're getting close to that point now. But I want y'all to think about one thing, man. It isn't hard to have a successful relationship if you're focusing on the relationship. But if you're focusing on the woman or the man, it's not going to work. Relationships are not founded on love. They're not founded on jealousy. They're not founded on, if you love me, you'll do this. They're founded on, if you respect me, then I can have this expectation of you. Love is questioned all the time. Love has to be proven all the time. Respect doesn't have to be proven. You know when you're being disrespected immediately. And you know when you don't respect someone, when you're disrespecting someone immediately. You know it. And no one, no man, no woman should ever accept someone who can't even respect their own position in the relationship. Because if you can't respect your position in a relationship, you can't respect your responsibility in the relationship. And that is going to fail and falter. It's just all about how long you waste in it. Is it going to waste 2 years of your life? Or is it going to waste 20 years of your life? Ask yourself that, man, before you embark upon any of these relationships. Because I promise you, anyone who thinks they've built a relationship on love, give them a few years. You're going to see them and they're going to be bitter. about a failed relationship that they invested all their time and energy in that never even had a snowball's chance in hell of working because they built it on love instead of respect. SJ3, YMC, appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. The brothers who super chatted, I appreciate y'all as well. Until we get back in this joint again, I see y'all in a minute, man. I'm out.
It's the book of Alpharonomy, nigga. Read it or weep.